Hello, folks. Welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Warduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is the journalist.
And she is the enthusiast.
And I'm enthusiastic, sort of, because we got an odd topic today.
We do have an odd topic today, and it does deal with sports.
Yes,
and
it's a sports
topic.
topic.
That's why we are bringing it up, but it's not an everyday topic that we normally would talk about. So we're kind of in a quirky mood for it. And
we are. Buckle up.
Yeah, so let's get right to it, okay? There was a lot of stuff that has happened in the last few days, and one of those was
it was election day.
Elections, yeah. We all know about the political season. There's no way you couldn't know about it. It was everywhere. But we're not talking about that necessarily, but we're talking about some of the issues that were on some of the ballots within the country.
He's talking about weed.
And we're talking about marijuana here, okay? So marijuana is now legal in a lot of the country right now. And so it just really is. And it should be. In my personal opinion, it's not something that is harmful as people have made it out to be, and it's used in a lot of different things. But for the most part, people are now coming to that realization that it should be legal in a lot of places. And that's what's going on right now.
Well, specifically this past Tuesday,
yes.
California, one of the largest states in the union, had it on the ballot. They've had medical marijuana forever.
For a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
But now the state of California has voted, as has Oregon in the past and Colorado, that now weed, marijuana, is available for recreational use. It is now legal. And the reason that this is sports related, stay with us, is that there are 4 professional football teams in the state of California.
4 of them.
4 of them.
4. And big name teams.
San Francisco, Oakland, LA, and San Diego. Not to mention the myriad of college teams that are there.
Correct.
And I think now that you still have Washington State.
Washington State, it was already legal in Washington State. In Oregon, I think it was already legal there as well.
But it's also legal in Colorado where the Broncos play.
So now you have 5 or 6 states, or 5 states. Well, you have
multiple states, but you've got at least 16.
Yes, exactly.
We're getting all discombobulated.
Trying to get the numbers here because we want to try to tell you the impact that this will have on the NFL, and not just NFL, but other professional teams that decide to relocate on the West Coast. And you know, the Silicon Valley area is very popular with all the new technology things coming out and a lot of new money. And Seattle is always a very popular spot with all the music it brings, and so
Denver's hot
obviously
too.
Denver with the great mountain areas, and it's legal there, and there's professional teams that are within those states. But in the NFL specifically, you have 4 teams in California, 1 team in Washington State, and then another team in the state of Colorado.
Well, and isn't the question really about whether or not the league should keep up with the times and stop testing marijuana in their athletes?
Right.
Because that's really the question. That's why it makes it a sports question. Because at this point, for me, if I may, you know, as a mom, I'm sitting here, obviously you're my son, you've been raised right. We don't believe in doing drugs or anything illegal in this household. But at the same time, if it becomes a legal substance like alcohol, people need to start wondering, do we test professional athletes for alcohol use? No, we don't, because if you're over 21, you are allowed to go have a glass of wine, a shot of whiskey, or a beer. We sell beer in the stadiums.
Yep.
But if now that weed is legal, if you are over the age of 21 in the state of California, you legally can have it. Why is the NFL, as your employer, testing you for weed if they're not testing you for alcohol?
Right.
Because they have the same effects on your body. And a lot of people would argue that weed actually has medicinal impact. It can do good things for your body.
Right.
Where alcohol only tears you down, weed actually helps you have a better appetite, relaxes your muscles, deals with anxiety.
Right.
And I am not promoting weed. I'm simply saying that now that it's legal, I think the league is going to have to look at whether or not they continue to test their athletes for weed.
The entire Western Seaboard, as we know it right now, has made something a legal thing for people to do, and that's of all color, races. If you are professions, if you're of age to purchase weed or marijuana at a dispensary, it is now legal for anyone to do that. So how can you incorporate that? How can you punish someone who lives? We raised the question about the substance when you know at least 70% of the league probably uses marijuana.
Well, let's talk about that real quick.
And within their own personal time.
You play Division I football.
Yes.
Okay. And people know you played for K-State, so I'm not trying to put anybody on blast.
Yeah.
But let's just say you've known a lot of athletes.
Yes.
Would you say that the majority of athletes use some level of alcohol?
Yes.
Even if they're not 21?
Correct.
They can get into the bar and get drunk?
Yes.
Would you say, without we're not naming names, that there is a good percentage, maybe a little over 50% of athletes that also use marijuana?
I would say a good portion of the NFL and most professional athletes utilize marijuana.
Why do you think? Educate us, because I'm curious. Why is that? If people know that it's illegal, why are they still smoking weed?
Well, I think back in its time, there was a bad backlash on what it would do to companies for not just smoking it, but the plant itself. I think has a lot of different values that could put people out of business, and I think there's a lot of other underlying things that are occurring there.
You're speaking about the hemp versus paper and all that. And there's some history to that.
There's some history to it. So I think it got black marked early. Just like tobacco should be black marked for everything that it brings within cigarettes, lung cancer and all types of bad influence and things like that.
Well, my question is, though, why do athletes do it?
Yes. The reason why athletes do it is because of what it does to you. It relaxes you. It helps you sleep. It can help you with headaches and aches and pains. There's a lot of things that it brings as far as appetite. If people are stressed out and you need a way to kind of help get your metabolism going again, you know, there's a lot of different reasons for it. Yes, it's not. And my point with the history lesson there is that it's been black marked. It's had a black cloud over it for a lot of different reasons, and so that's what makes it illegal for people to hide it or make it hard for themselves to be open about it, because it's been illegal for so long. Yeah, and so now that you have legality behind it, it makes it easier for people to come out.
There's definitely a stigma. Are we close on time?
No, we still have time. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds right now.
Well, let me just say this. First of all, it made me want wings. I don't know why I'm doing it. No, we have not smoked any weed in this house. There's no weed here. But the reason I was asking is because I know some of the athletes who, from when I was in college even, who would smoke weed and they knew they could get in trouble. But I really do think there is a medicinal property to weed. That when you're asking people to put their bodies through the torture that you ask a lot of athletes to, especially football athletes, it does reduce body aches. It does relax you. These guys run on the kind of anxiety level that we can't even understand.
Yes.
Reduces anxiety. It lets you sleep. It can relax your muscles. It can bring your appetite back.
Yeah.
And those are all things that these guys turn to. And they know that even if alcohol, first of all, you have to drink a lot of alcohol to get to the place where you're numb.
And when you're an athlete and you can't, your body doesn't metabolize alcohol very well, and so you can't just take in.
It does damage to your body. So for me, I've always felt like weed should be legalized. That's just the truth. That's just my stand. But now that it is legal in states where you have professional football teams, the NFL, you have got to stop testing for marijuana.
Yes.
You don't even have to make a blanket statement that, hey, we think weed is good. Just quit testing for it, quit punishing for it, quit finding people. And with all due respect to Stephen A., stay off the weed, just stay out of their business.
Right, exactly.
Stay out of the, NFL, stay out of the weed.
Yeah.
There you
go. Exactly. No, I totally agree. I think there's a lot of questions to be raised right now with what has happened over the last couple days, and it's going to be something that the league will have to look at, and other leagues as well, because there are a lot of basketball teams and soccer teams.
The whole basketball team is high. I hate to burst your bubble.
Again, the whole Western Seaboard is basically a green, if you will, and people are voicing their opinions on that, and so it will be interesting to see what certain leagues do, but especially the NFL.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Anyways, with that, we want to say we appreciate your time. We have a lot of other topics we're going to bring up here.
Don't tweet at us about this.
But we definitely wanted to bring this up, and we wanted to say we appreciate your time, and thanks for watching, folks.
Let's go get some wings.
All right.